Hey, time for a video on the skull. First of many videos on the skull. We're going to do this almost on a bone by bone basis here. Obviously, I got a skull right here. I want to start out with this bone right in the front. This bone in the front here is the frontal bone. There is the frontal bone right there. If we rotate it backwards, we see our frontal bone is articulating with our two parietal bones right there. At that articulation, we have a joint. This joint right here is called a suture because it looks like a suture. You can see the maximization of surface area with the squiggliness of the interlocking parts of the two bones. So it makes it really, really strong. It's a really, really strong joint there. That suture right there, that is called the coronal suture between the frontal bone and the two parietal bones. Our frontal bone has a couple interesting things about it and a couple other joints it is going to make. It is very much in a protective position here. It is going to articulate with our sphenoid bone. We can see that articulation right there. Articulates with our zygomatic bone. We see that right there as well. Inside the orbit, we've got our frontal bone here. We got frontal bone, so it does form part of the roof of the orbital cavity. Articulates with our ethmoid bone, with our lacrimal bone, our maxillary bone, and our nasal bone as well. So it really articulates with a lot of stuff in front here. Okay? We do see the supraorbital margin, a little notch in there for a nerve to go through. We see a supraorbital margin on both sides. If we open this guy up, there we go, we open it up, I see the frontal bone right here in the front again. I see it right there. I see my coronal suture just from the inside there. If I look and I rotate this, so I'm touching the frontal bone here, finger is still on the frontal bone, and I go on in right there. There we go, hopefully that's focused. Here's the inside of the frontal bone. This ridge here supports the front part of the brain. We're articulating with our sphenoid bone here and with our ethmoid bone right there. All right, so that is pretty much it for the frontal bone. One exception, on this model, we cannot see the space in here. We have a frontal sinus in here, one of our 5 major paranasal sinuses. It would be right in here. We just don't see it on this particular skull. All right, see you next time.